So that horrible noise you heard, that's coming out of this furnace, and that's likely the blower wheel, which we're going to attempt to replace today. First, before you do any of this, you have to make sure that you have electrically isolated this entire system. There's a switch in your attic that will take care of that isolation. And if you can't find that switch, the alternative is going all the way to your breaker panel and turning off the power over there to make sure that you're not exposed to any electricity. Safety first. All right, to take this apart, we're going to start with these two rotating to take this plate off. Slide that out. Set that away. Now that we got that out of the way, we're going to be targeting this panel to take it off. The blower is right behind here. We're going to have to take off a couple of screws to get the blower out. It's on a rail that you have to slide out. So let's proceed. Actually, I'm going to mention this. Before you start taking anything apart, just make sure that the spare part that you bought actually fits the equipment you have. I checked the model number for the furnace and went on the internet, and it gives you what the blower wheel model number is. And I've also opened this before to actually confirm that on the blower wheel. So that's what I got. See on the box, that's the model number right there. Make sure that I received the right part. You don't want to take everything apart, go through all of this work just to realize that you have the wrong part and it's not going to fit. Then you got to redo all of this again. All right, now we're going to proceed to take these apart. Remember where you kept the screws. You don't want to lose them. So this panel comes out. I'll set that to the side. All right. Now we're looking at this. I'm going to bring the camera a little bit closer. All right. This is the entire blower assembly. You want to make sure that you don't mess with any of these wires. This is not an electrical job. Do not make it turn into one. So you can slide the blower assembly out carefully without disrupting any of these wires, and you're going to see how I do that. We're going to take apart those two screws. We're going to take this out of the way. We're going to take that switch out of the way so we can slide this out without any interference. You cannot see this now because it's kind of dark in here, but let's see how I can angle this camera. Right on the sides, this, let me see if I can get a little bit of light. There we go. See right there? That's how the assembly slides in there. So there's one at the top and one at the bottom to support the weight. Assuming this camera captures it very well. Yes, it does. All right, let's continue. Take these out. Comes out. Again, remember where you keep your screws so you can put everything back the way it was. Here, there's just a single screw that holds that switch into place. I'm gonna try to get that out. All right, there it is. I got it out. We'll keep the screw in place so we don't lose it. What you want to do is make sure all of these are to the side. There is a cable tie here that holds all of this assembly, all of these cables together. We're going to undo this so we have some slack when we're pulling out the blowers. Again, there's no power to this unit. You want to make sure that you don't mess with any of these. You could end up with your HVAC not working as it should when you connect everything back together. Pro tip, the alternative is to make sure you take lots of pictures of this entire area so you know where what connects to. And if you're uncertain, get a professional to do this for you. All right. Again, the job we're working on, this is not an electrical job. We're mainly pulling out the blower assembly and replacing it. Another set of screws that we're gonna have to take out. Let me see. See there, that's one at the top. Then at the bottom, that's the second one right down there. I'm hoping the camera gives you a good view to see it. Yep, that's the second one. That's what secures the blower in place. So we'll take those two out, then we'll start sliding out the blower assembly. Took out the bolts from there and down there. Unscrewed this switch. This is being held by, there's a screw right there. Took that out. I'm sliding this out of where it is. You're gonna have to bend this a little bit to get it out. Well, not bend it, just twist it out of the way. I got this. I had a cable tie just so you'll have more slack, so I can pull all of this out. Then I'll be able to check the squirrel cage motor. All right, time to slide this bad boy out. Just be careful when you get this out. When your hands are holding it at the top, you can come in close contact with the fan blades. The fan blades are sharp. Okay, got this. When you get it out, just rotate it. You don't want to put any tension on these cords. So rotate, so create a little bit of slack here. All right, make sure you're not pulling on any wires, and that can sit right there. Top view is the blower motor, and that's the fan, the wheel, the blower wheel, which we're going to replace. So we're going to have to take off all of these, pull out the fan blade, or pull out the motor. Then over here, when we get there, I'll show you that section of it. All right. So first, we take the bolts off from the top to release the motor. Okay. I have to go manual there. I think that's 3/8 inch. Again, remember where you keep all of your screws and where the screws belong. These are distinct, so we know they came from the motor. So we're gonna pull. Not yet. All right, there's one error. We need to unscrew there's a screw on the shaft that holds the blower motor in place, the blower wheel in place. We need to take that out first so this can slide out. Turn this around. Again, keep an eye on the wires. You absolutely do not want any tension on them. So we'll flip that, give you a view in here, a little bit of light. That's the bolt that we want to get off, and there's not enough room here for me to use my drill driver, so I'll use my wrench here. And this you can undo this with a 10mm. You want to be careful. These blades are quite sharp. And there isn't a lot of room here to work with. There we go. You don't want to end up tearing up your fingers or your hands. Losing that bolt. Got it? Right. Show you the inside. Now we've taken that out so we can slide it from the motor shaft, or we can slide out the motor and the shaft. May have to wiggle this out quite a bit to coax it out, and very careful with the wires. Lean that to its side. All right, let's take a look at what this looks like now. Motor is out. All right, we just need to get out the wheel. To be able to get out the wheel, we need to get this panel out so there's room for it. We need to get that out so there's room for it too. So the screws here, let's take that bolt out, and same on the other side. And I believe we need to take that out and that out. We'll see. All right, let's get to it. I can't hold the camera and do this, so I'm gonna sit it down. I'm in the attic, so it's fairly hot here. That. It's gonna feel great once I'm done. I'll show you this. See right there. Let's get this. There you go. Those screws have to come out. So for those to come out, I have to take this little panel out first. So we're going to do that. Not a lot of room to work here. Let's get those out. I'll leave that with it, so I remember where it came from. All right. Get these and slide this out. Now we have enough room to take out the blower wheel. We're going to do just that. If you have gloves, I recommend you use them. That's the old one. Again, not a lot of space here, so let's see if we can do this. That's the old wheel that's coming off. Right, we're going to put the new one right in there. Now, you want to remember, I'll show you right in here. If you can see the model number there, same as the one that I showed you at the beginning of the video. Just make sure we got the right part. Now remember that this goes in this way, right? When we get the new one out, we're ready to slide it in. Here's the new wheel, blower wheel. It comes with its own screw that will hold it tight against the motor. Now we're going to slide it in. Remember, that side faces this way, and the top of it is for the blower motor to connect to. All right, don't let it fall or drop like I did. That's not good. All right, so it's in there. We're gonna position it and start closing up. We're gonna start doing everything again back in the reverse order. First, this plate goes back in. Let's see. Yeah, so first this goes back in. Now is the time to make sure you remember which screws go where. Make sure the torque on your drill driver is not too high. There's a screw there. Just want to get that in. There we go. Now that that's in, get this. I'm going to start driving them in, but not all the way. Put the screw on the other end. So we gradually do them on alternate sides. Alright, so we've got that back in there. The assembly is back the way it was. The plate is in, and that's in. So it slides into the holes over there. Alright, so now we're going to reattach the motor. We'll get the shaft, we'll attach the motor, we'll get the shaft through, then bolt it down. If you're going to do this in this tight space, make sure you've done your stretches before. Again, slowly. Alright, we have some oil on the motor. Certainly don't want that slipping when you pick it up. Lift. to find this with the screw holes before you start driving them in. I'm going to do this on alternate sides. Be very careful when you do this. You certainly don't want the bolts falling back in. When you're bolting these back in, make sure that you reinsert them before you put in the screws. I'll do this on alternate sides. So. Rotate this back. And then here. So you're going to lift this slightly up and bolt it down so when it spins, you don't have any contact either with the motor on that side or the base of the wheel housing. Make sure you tighten that well enough. Finish tightening it up with a wrench. What we're going to do now is a test, just to make sure this bad boy works as it's supposed to. Before we do that, I'm gonna go ahead and make sure the bolts on the motor are tight. I don't want the motor vibrating that much. Alright, so we're going to test it, but I want to do one quick visual test. Make sure you got clearance there as the wheel turns, and you got clearance also on this end. All right, otherwise you're still going to hear that scraping noise. Alright, we powered on the blower, well, we powered on the unit. Alright, now I'm going to turn it on, and that will be the true test to see if we solve this problem. let's go for it. All right, turn it on. Turn the AC on, turn down the thermostat. So it should be kicking in a little while. All right. Hear that? Runs well. No horrible noise. So now I'm just gonna power this down and reassemble it. So you heard that it's working well now. I just wanted to give you a better view of the inside. See, that top section is where the unit is gonna slide, and right there it's gonna slide into those on the bottom side, and that's kind of what holds it up. That's a screw hole at the bottom that we're gonna anchor it to, and that's the one at the top. All right, I think we're ready to put this bad boy back together. So we've tested and we see that it works. Again, make sure you are electrically isolated before you start doing this. You don't want to end up with any injury. I'm going to glide it through those holes that I showed you. First, again, you pick it up gently. Make sure you can see. All right. Pick that up gently. Get these out of the way. Now the side where you can visibly see the blower blades go against the hole in there, and that's your furnace, so that connects to that end. So I'm gonna lift and rotate. Support there. Then continue the rotation. While watching out for the cables, do not pinch them. If you pinch that insulation, you might end up with a short. And you definitely don't want that. So here's what we're going to do now. We've rotated this. The next step is to slide it back into those holes, and for that you have to lift. This is a little tricky because you have to get the top and the bottom at the same time. Last time I did this, I had a little light from my phone that I'm using my phone now to record. Let's try to slide this in. All right. So it's in there. Ooh, my knees are telling me stories. Now the next step is to get that bolted back into place. Hope you remember where you left your screws. Camera in front of me. I want you to see this. Let's get that screw in position. See it there? Secured. The second one goes right here at the bottom. Secure it. There we go. Blower motor in place. Now, go back down here. I'm going to put these back where they were. Sitting as is, and this was sitting right here. So I don't know if you see that. I'm aligning that with the screw hole. I'm aligning that with the screw. Then we drive it in. There we go. That's in. I'll try to. It doesn't help that I have huge hands. And these are small spaces. If you have a friend with smaller hands, please do invite them over. You will thank me for that. Let's try this other way. One side is in. Somewhat, anyway. Okay. All right. Everything is in. One last piece of advice for you. Before you do the final bolt up, or before you close it up, do check to make sure that it still works. I'm going to do that last check in a moment. So I put everything back in. I turned on the thermostat for a final check before I put the panel back and close everything. But the one thing I wanted to mention, it's taking a little bit because the thermostat is on a delay start, or the system is on a delay start. So I'll bring you back online. Again, remember, test this out before you close up shop. There we go. Isn't that beautiful? That is beautiful. No horrible scraping sound. And maybe another check that you'll do is to look at the circuit board. Make sure nothing is vibrating. If it is, it means there's some screws that are a bit loose. Looks like we're good to go. I think we can close up. And we get the door back on. As good as new. Anyway, if you like this video, give a thumbs up to it, and if more repairs come up around the house, I'll make some more video and post it. Hopefully you save a little bit of money on the way. The last time I said this was a couple of days ago, and right after that my AC broke down, so hopefully nothing bad happens this time around. Alright, thank you for watching. Till next time.